People like you are why this country's going downhill. You want a handout for breathing. I earn more in 60 seconds than you made your entire worthless life. Those words echo through Providence Municipal Court. The man who says them is 26 years old. His name is Trevor Blackwell. He wears a Prada jacket worth $4,000. His neck has a platinum chain. On his wrist sits a Patek Philippe watch. That watch costs more than a house. His shoes are off-white sneakers. Limited edition. His AirPods Max hang around his neck like a trophy. He looks at his phone. He's checking his cryptocurrency portfolio. Up another 50 grand today. The man he's talking to stands near the back. His name is Raymond Miller. He's 71 years old. His jacket has holes in it. His shoes are held together with duct tape. His eyes are tired. He served 2 tours in Vietnam. He came home to nothing. No job. No family. No home. For 3 years, he's been living in his 1998 Honda Civic. The car barely runs. But it's all he has. Judge Frank Caprio sits at the bench. His face is calm. But his eyes show something else. Something building. Something about to break loose. If you believe justice should be equal for everyone, you'll want to see what happens next. Because what Judge Caprio does in the next hour will change both these men forever. The bailiff stands. He holds a file. Case 2026, MV 14729. The City of Providence versus Trevor Blackwell and Raymond Miller. Hit and run with property damage. Attempted bribery of a police officer. Judge Caprio adjusts his glasses. Good morning. Mr. Blackwell, please approach. Trevor walks forward. His steps are lazy. Confident. He doesn't look worried. He chews gum. The sound echoes in the quiet courtroom. Mr. Miller, you too please, Judge Caprio says. Raymond walks slowly. He limps. His right leg was injured in the war. Shrapnel still sits in his knee. Every step hurts. He keeps his head down. Respectful. They stand at opposite sides. Trevor towers over Raymond. Trevor is 6'2". Raymond is maybe 5'7". The size difference is obvious. The wealth difference is even more obvious. Judge Caprio looks at the file. Let me understand this. Mr. Miller, you received 17 parking tickets over the past 8 months. Is that correct? Raymond nods. Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I was parking near the library. I didn't know I needed permits. I was sleeping in my car. I didn't have nowhere else to go. His voice shakes. He's nervous. His hands twist together. And Mr. Blackwell, Judge Caprio continues, you're here because on February 3rd at approximately 8:47 p.m., you struck Mr. Miller's vehicle while it was legally parked on Benefit Street. You then left the scene. When Officer Patricia Morales pulled you over 3 blocks away, you offer her money to forget the incident. Do I have that right? Trevor shrugs. I mean, technically, yeah. But was barely a tap. His car's already a piece of junk. I was doing him a favor. Maybe he could get insurance money, or something. People in the gallery shift. They look at each other. Did he really just say that? Judge Caprio's expression doesn't change. A favor. I see. Officer Morales, please come forward. A police officer stands. She's in her early 30s. Her uniform is crisp. Her face is serious. She walks to the witness area. Officer Morales, please tell the court what happened that evening. She opens her notepad. At 8:52 p.m., I was on patrol on Benefit Street. I observed a white Maserati, Levant, driving erratically. The vehicle was speeding. I activated my lights. The vehicle pulled over after approximately 2 blocks. When I approached, the driver identified himself as Trevor Blackwell. I smelled alcohol. I asked if he'd been drinking. He said he'd had a couple drinks at dinner. Did you administer a breathalyzer test? I attempted to. Mr. Blackwell refused initially. He said, and I'm reading from my notes, do you know who I am? I have 400,000 followers on TikTok. I make more money than your entire precinct combined. The gallery gasps. Someone whispers. The sound spreads. Trevor rolls his eyes. That's taken out of context. Judge Caprio holds up his hand. Mr. Blackwell, you'll have your chance to speak. Officer Morales, continue. I explained that refusal would result in automatic license suspension. He eventually agreed. He blew a 0.09. That's over the legal limit of 0.08. While I was processing the DUI, he mentioned he'd bumped another car. I asked where. He pointed back toward Benefit Street. I called for backup. We located the damaged vehicle. A 1998 Honda Civic. The entire driver's side was crushed. The door wouldn't open. The mirror was hanging by wires. Damage estimated at $4,200 according to the assessor. Raymond's face falls. His car, his home, destroyed. When I returned to Mr. Blackwell, Officer Morales continues. He reached for his wallet. He pulled out a stack of cash. He said, "There's $5,000 here. Just write it up as a fender bender. Nobody got hurt. Let me go home." I immediately informed him that was attempted bribery of an officer. He laughed. He said, "Come on, everyone has a price. What's yours? 10? 20? I made 30 grand today on Ethereum." The courtroom erupts. People are talking, shaking their heads. Judge Caprio bangs his gavel once. Silence returns. Trevor still looks unbothered. He checks his phone. "Mr. Blackwell, put that phone away right now," Judge Caprio says. His voice is sharper. Trevor sighs. He slides it into his pocket. "Sorry, I'm expecting an important call. Business stuff. You wouldn't understand." A woman in the second row gasps out loud. Judge Caprio takes a breath. "Let me make sure I understand your position, Mr. Blackwell. You drove drunk. You hit someone's vehicle. You fled the scene. You attempted to bribe a police officer. And now you're telling me I wouldn't understand business." Trevor nods. "Look, no offense, but yeah. I'm in tech. Crypto. DeFi. It moves fast. I can't just sit here all day. Can we just settle this? I'll pay the fine. Whatever. Just make it quick." "Make it quick," Judge Caprio repeats slowly. "Yeah. I've got a thing at noon. Investor meeting. Real important." Judge Caprio turns to Raymond. "Mr. Miller, that vehicle. Was that where you were living?" Raymond nods. His eyes are wet. "Yes, sir. 3 years now. Since I lost my apartment. I couldn't keep up with rent after my disability check got cut. The car was all I had. I kept it clean. I kept it running. It was my home." His voice breaks on the last word. "And now? It don't run no more. The frame's bent. The mechanic said it's totaled. I've been sleeping under the highway overpass since that night. It's cold. My back hurts. But I got nowhere else." Trevor scoffs. "Dude, there's shelters. Why don't you just go to a shelter?" Raymond looks at him for the first time. "I tried. They're full. There's waiting lists. I put my name down. I'm number 247. They said maybe in 4 months." "Well, that's not my problem," Trevor says. "You should have figured your life out better. Made better choices. I made my first million at 23. It's about mindset. Hustle. You probably just sat around waiting for handouts." The silence that follows is heavy. Thick. You could cut it with a knife. A man in the back stands up. "Are you kidding me right now?" The bailiff moves toward him. "Sir, please sit down." The man sits, but his face is red. His fists are clenched. Judge Caprio stares at Trevor. "Mr. Blackwell, do you know anything about Mr. Miller's service record?" Trevor shrugs. "Should I?" Mr. Miller served 2 tours in Vietnam. He earned a Purple Heart. He was shot twice. He carried 3 wounded men to safety under enemy fire. He came home with PTSD and physical injuries that still affect him today. He worked as a machinist for 20 years until the factory closed. He tried to find other work, but nobody wanted to hire a 65-year-old man with a limp and nightmares. Trevor doesn't react. "Okay. And that was like 50 years ago. Ancient history." People in the courtroom are on the edge of their seats. This is getting worse by the second. "Ancient history," Judge Caprio says. His voice is quieter now. Dangerous quiet. "Yeah. Look, I respect the troops or whatever. But that doesn't give him a free pass to be homeless. We all make our own destiny. I made mine. He made his. Not my fault it's turned out bad." Officer Morales shakes her head. Even she looks disgusted. Judge Caprio opens a folder. "Mr. Blackwell, I have something here I'd like to enter into evidence. Your attorney received copies yesterday." Trevor's lawyer, a nervous-looking man in an expensive suit, stands. "Your Honor, my client and I reviewed those documents. We don't contest their authenticity." "Good. These are bank statements showing Mr. Blackwell's financial activity. In the past 6 months, you've spent $340,000 on luxury items. A Tesla Model X, a Rolex Skydweller, bottle service at nightclubs totaling $47,000. A 2-week vacation in Dubai that cost $85,000. Is this accurate?" Trevor smiles. Yeah. So what? I earned it. I can spend it how I want. Indeed. And Mr. Miller, these records show your total monthly income. $1,247 from disability. That's what you live on. Raymond nods. Yes, sir. It's enough for food, gas, phone. But rent around here is $1,500 minimum. I couldn't make it work. Judge Caprio arranges papers. I also have text messages. Mr. Blackwell, after the accident, you sent messages to several people. May I read some? Trevor shifts. For the first time, he looks slightly uncomfortable. Judge Caprio reads. Text to Brandon Chun at 9:03 p.m. Dude just crashed into some homeless guy's car. Cops trying to bust me. So annoying. Text to Skylar Morrison at 9:15 p.m. About to get arrested LOL. Dad's lawyer will handle it. Might not make the party. Text to Cameron Wells at 9:34 p.m. after you were taken into custody. This is so dumb. The car I hit was worth like $500. Mine's worth $90K. Shouldn't I be the victim here? The courtroom is completely silent. Everyone stares at Trevor. Trevor tries to laugh it off. Come on. Those were private messages. You can't use those. They were subpoenaed. They're evidence. And there's more. You posted on social media the next day. Instagram. February 4th at 11:23 a.m. A photo of you at brunch. The caption reads, Crazy night. Almost got busted by a cop who didn't know I could buy her career. Thank God for connections. Hashtag blessed. Hashtag above the law. That post has 12,000 likes. People pull out their phones. They're searching for it, finding it, showing each other. Trevor's face reddens. That was a joke. Obviously. People joke on Instagram. Hashtag above the law. A joke. Yeah, exactly. Judge Caprio closes the folder. Mr. Blackwell, let me ask you something. Do you feel any remorse for what you did? Trevor thinks. I mean, sure. I wish it didn't happen. It's been a hassle. A hassle? Yeah. I've had to deal with lawyers. Court dates. It's taken time away from my business. What about Mr. Miller? Do you feel bad that you destroyed his home? Trevor glances at Raymond. I mean, I guess. But like I said, there's shelters. Resources. He's got options. He's number 247 on a waiting list. Then he should have signed up earlier. The woman in the second row actually gasps out loud this time. So do several others. Judge Caprio leans forward. Mr. Blackwell, do you believe you're better than Mr. Miller? Trevor doesn't hesitate. Honestly? Yeah, I am. That's just reality. I worked hard. I took risks. I built something. He didn't. That's not mean. That's just facts. Some people succeed. Some people don't. I'm a succeeder. He's not. And then it happens. The moment everyone will remember. The nuclear quote. Trevor looks directly at Raymond. His face is cold. Mean. Look at you. You're standing here begging for sympathy because you're old and broke. You picked the wrong war. You picked the wrong career. You picked the wrong life. And now you want me to pay for your bad choices. I don't owe you anything. My Bitcoin portfolio is worth more than your entire existence. You're a relic. A statistic. You're yesterday's news. I'm the future. And the future doesn't have time for people like you. 10 seconds of absolute silence. Nobody moves. Nobody breathes. The clock on the wall ticks. That's the only sound. Then the courtroom explodes. People are shouting. The bailiff is calling for order. Someone throws a paper cup. It misses Trevor, but the message is clear. Judge Caprio bangs his gavel 3 times. Hard. Order. I will clear this courtroom if necessary. Everyone sit down and be quiet right now. Slowly, people settle. But the anger hangs in the air. Thick and hot. Judge Caprio looks at Trevor. His face is different now. The calm is gone. In its place is something harder. Colder. More determined. Mr. Blackwell, he says quietly, you've just made a very serious mistake. Trevor realizes something has shifted. The room feels different. The judge's voice has changed. Even Trevor's lawyer looks worried. Your Honor, the lawyer starts, my client is young. He sometimes speaks without thinking. Perhaps we could. Judge Caprio cuts him off. Counselor, sit down. Your client spoke exactly what he was thinking. And now he's going to hear what I think. The lawyer sits. Judge Caprio stands. He walks around the bench. He comes down to the floor level. face to face with Trevor. This almost never happens. Trevor Blackwell. Look at me. Trevor does. For the first time, he looks nervous. You stand here in your $4,000 jacket, your $60,000 watch, your limited edition sneakers. You speak about success, about hustle, about earning what you have. Let me ask you something. Where'd you get the money to start investing in cryptocurrency? Trevor hesitates. I saved up. From what? I had a job. I worked. Judge Caprio pulls out another document. According to records, you received a $250,000 trust fund on your 21st birthday from your grandfather's estate. That was your initial investment. Correct. Trevor's jaw tightens. So, lots of people have family money. Indeed, many do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But let's be clear about something. You didn't build your wealth from nothing. You didn't start with empty pockets and a dream. You started with $250,000. Do you know how long it would take Mr. Miller to save $250,000 on his disability income? Trevor doesn't answer. I'll tell you. At $1,247 per month, if he somehow saved every single penny and spent nothing on food or gas or clothing or medicine, it would take him 167 years. 167 years, Trevor. The math hits hard. People are nodding. Understanding. You talk about choices. About mindset. Let me tell you about choices. When Mr. Miller was 19 years old, he chose to serve his country. He didn't have to. The draft had ended. He volunteered. He chose to put on a uniform, to carry a rifle, to sleep in jungles and rice paddies, to face enemy fire. Why do you think he made that choice? Trevor shrugs. Protecting people back home. People like you, Trevor. He fought so you could have the freedom to build a business, to make money, to live in peace. And this is how you thank him. Trevor looks at the floor. When Mr. Miller came home from Vietnam, people spit on him, called him names, told him he was a baby killer. He suffered nightmares for years. He watched friends die. He carried their bodies. He has scars inside and outside that will never heal. But he kept going. He got a job. He worked 40-hour weeks in a factory for 20 years. He paid taxes. He obeyed the law. He didn't ask for special treatment. And then the factory closed. Not because he failed. Not because he was lazy. Because corporations decided to move overseas where labor was cheaper. Was that his choice? Did he choose that? The courtroom is silent again. But this silence is different. People are listening. Really listening. He applied for dozens of jobs. Nobody called back. Do you know why? Because he was 65 years old with a limp. Because companies don't want to hire older workers. Because age discrimination is real, even if it's illegal. So tell me, Trevor, was that a bad choice? Or bad luck? Or just the way the world works for people who don't have trust funds? Trevor says nothing. Judge Caprio steps closer. You said his Bitcoin portfolio is worth more than his entire existence. Let me tell you something about existence. About worth. Mr. Miller's existence saved 3 lives in Vietnam. 3 young men who came home because he carried them to safety while bullets flew past his head. One of those men became a teacher. He taught for 35 years. He influenced thousands of students. Another became a firefighter. He pulled families from burning buildings. He saved 14 lives in his career. The third became a doctor. He's still practicing. He's performed surgeries that have saved over 100 people. So Mr. Miller's existence, his choice to risk his life, has directly resulted in over 100 human beings staying alive. Plus thousands more who were taught, protected, healed. That's his worth, Trevor. What's yours? You could hear a pin drop. How many lives have you saved? How many people are better off because you bought cryptocurrency at the right time? How many children did you teach? How many fires did you put out? How many sick people did you heal? Trevor's face is pale now. His hands shake slightly. You made money. Congratulations. Money is useful. Money is important. But money is not worth. Money is not character. Money is not virtue. You can have all the money in the world and still be poor in the ways that matter. And right now, standing here in this courtroom, you are the poorest person in this room. Several people in the gallery nod. One woman wipes tears from her eyes. Judge Caprio turns to Raymond. Mr. Miller, I want to apologize to you. On behalf of this court, on behalf of this city, you deserve better than what happened to you. You deserve better than how you've been treated. and I'm going to do everything in my power to make this right. Raymond's eyes fill with tears. Your Honor, you don't have to. Yes, I do. Because that's what justice means. It means protecting those who protected us. It means holding accountable those who think they're above the law. It means showing young men like Mr. Blackwell that wealth without wisdom is worthless. Judge Caprio walks back to his bench. He sits. He opens his notes. Trevor Blackwell, you're charged with DUI, hit and run, property damage, and attempted bribery of a police officer. How do you plead? Trevor's lawyer stands. Your Honor, we plead no contest. The court accepts that plea. Mr. Blackwell, stand for sentencing. Trevor stands. He sways slightly. The confidence is gone. In its place is fear. Judge Caprio reads from his notes. Mr. Blackwell, this court does not take pleasure in punishment. Our goal is not revenge. It's education. It's rehabilitation. It's teaching you what your family clearly failed to teach you. That actions have consequences. That people matter more than profits. That respect must be earned, not bought. And that the law applies equally to everyone, regardless of how much money they have. Trevor nods quickly. I understand, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I really am. I'll pay the fine. Whatever you think is fair. Oh, you'll pay. But money is the least of what you're going to give. Let's start with the financial penalties. For DUI, the fine is $500. For hit and run, $1,000. For property damage, you will pay full restitution to Mr. Miller for the value of his vehicle. The assessor valued it at $2,800 in working condition. You will pay $2,800. For attempted bribery of a police officer, the fine is $5,000. That brings your total fines to $9,300. Do you have any problem paying that? Trevor shakes his head. No, Your Honor. I can write a check right now. I'm sure you can. But we're not done. Not even close. For DUI, your license is suspended for 180 days. 6 months. You will not drive. You will not operate any motor vehicle. If you're caught driving, you'll go to jail immediately. Understand? Trevor's face falls. 6 months? How am I supposed to get around? The same way millions of people do. Walk. Take the bus. Ride a bike. Figure it out. Next, you will complete a DUI education program. 20 hours. You'll learn about the dangers of drunk driving. You'll hear from victims. Families who lost loved ones because someone thought they were sober enough to drive. Maybe you'll learn something. Yes, Your Honor, Trevor says quietly. Now, we come to the community service. This is where things get interesting, Trevor. You're going to perform 200 hours of community service. But not just any service. You're going to do something specific. Something that will teach you what you clearly don't understand. Trevor waits. Everyone waits. You will report to the Providence Veterans Affairs Medical Center. Do you know what that is? It's a hospital. It's a VA hospital, where veterans receive medical care. You will work in the housekeeping and support department. You will clean rooms. You will mop floors. You will empty trash. You will deliver meals to veterans who are too sick or injured to get them themselves. You will do this every Saturday and Sunday for the next 20 weeks. From 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's 10 hours per weekend. 20 weeks. 200 hours total. Trevor's mouth opens. Cleaning? You want me to be a janitor? I want you to serve those who served us. You will wear a vest provided by the court. On the back it says community service. Everyone will know why you're there. You will be supervised by the hospital's volunteer coordinator. Her name is Margaret Sanchez. She's a Marine Corps veteran. She served in Iraq. She lost her left arm in an IRP explosion. She doesn't tolerate nonsense. You will report to her. You will do what she says. You will not complain. You will not check your phone. You will not mention your cryptocurrency portfolio. You will work. Understand? Trevor looks at his lawyer. The lawyer looks away. Yes, Your Honor, Trevor says. His voice is small now. You will keep a journal. Every week, you will write a minimum of 500 words about what you experienced, what you saw, who you met, what you learned. These journals will be submitted to the court. I will read them personally. If I detect that you're not taking this seriously, if I sense you're just going through the motions, I will extend your service. Are we clear? Yes, Your Honor. Additionally, you will write a letter of apology to Mr. Miller. Not typed. Handwritten. Minimum of 1 page. You will explain what you did wrong. Why it was wrong. How it affected him. and what you're doing to become a better person. You will deliver this letter to him in person, in this courtroom, in 90 days. I will schedule a review hearing. Trevor nods. He's not arguing anymore. You will also write a letter of apology to Officer Morales. Same requirements. Handwritten. 1-page minimum. You attempted to corrupt her integrity. You insulted her professionalism. You owe her an apology. Yes, Your Honor. Furthermore, you will create a public service announcement. A video. You will talk about the dangers of drunk driving, about taking responsibility, about respecting others. This video will be professionally recorded. It will be reviewed by the court. And if approved, it will be shown at high schools throughout Providence County. Your face will be attached to this message. Your name will be attached to this message. You wanted to be famous on social media. Congratulations. Now you'll be famous for the right reasons. People in the gallery are smiling now. This is justice. The video must be at least 3 minutes long. It must be sincere. If I feel you're reading from a script written by your lawyer, I will reject it, and you'll make another one. You will speak from your heart. You will tell the truth, and you will warn other young people not to make the mistakes you made. Trevor's shoulders slump. His expensive jacket suddenly looks heavy. As a special condition of your sentence, you will attend a financial literacy workshop. I know that sounds backwards. You have money, but the workshop isn't about making money. It's about understanding that most people don't have money. It's about learning what it's like to budget $1,247 per month, to choose between food and medicine, to worry about rent, to know that one emergency could destroy you financially. You'll spend 8 hours in this workshop. You'll work with real families on real budgets. Maybe you'll learn some empathy. Judge Caprio pauses. He drinks water. The courtroom is completely focused on him. Now we come to the matter of contempt. Mr. Blackwell, your behavior in this courtroom today was unacceptable. You showed disrespect to this court. You insulted a veteran. You demonstrated a complete lack of remorse. You used your phone after being told to put it away. You argued with the bench. You acted as though you were above the law. That behavior has consequences. Trevor's eyes widen. Your Honor, please. I find you in contempt of court. The penalty is 7 days in the adult correctional institutions. You will be taken into custody immediately following this hearing. You will serve 7 days. No early release. No special treatment. You'll be in general population. You'll sleep on a bunk. You'll eat prison food. You'll wear prison clothes. You'll experience what it's like to have your freedom taken away. Maybe that will teach you to respect the freedoms you have. Trevor's face goes white. You're sending me to jail? Right now. Right now. Bailiff, please prepare for custody transfer. The bailiff moves forward. He has handcuffs ready. Your Honor, please. Trevor's voice cracks. I didn't mean, I wasn't trying to, please, I have that meeting at noon. I have investors waiting. I can't go to jail. You should have thought about that before you drove drunk. Before you destroyed a man's home. Before you tried to bribe a police officer. Before you came into my courtroom and disrespected a veteran. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'll do the community service. I'll write the letters. I'll make the video. Whatever you want. Just please don't send me to jail. Tears are forming in Trevor's eyes now. Real tears. Trevor, Judge Caprio says, and his voice is a little softer now, this is not about revenge. This is about you understanding that actions have consequences. You've lived your entire life believing that money could fix anything. That wealth meant you were special. That rules were for other people. Today, you learn differently. Today, you learn that in this courtroom, we're all equal. Rich or poor, young or old, famous or unknown. We're all equal under the law. Trevor is crying now. Actual tears running down his face. His expensive watch glitters in the light. His designer sneakers shuffle on the floor. He looks young suddenly. Not like a millionaire tech bro. Like a scared kid. But Your Honor, he tries again. What about my business? My investors? My portfolio? Your business will survive 7 days without you. If it doesn't, it wasn't much of a business. Your investors will wait. If they won't, they weren't much of investors. Your portfolio will be there when you get out. Crypto doesn't sleep. Isn't that what you people say? Trevor wipes his face. His hands are shaking badly now. Judge Caprio looks at him for a long moment. Let me tell you something, Trevor. This is the best thing that could happen to you. I know you don't believe that right now. You think I'm punishing you. You think I'm being cruel. But years from now, if you learn the lessons I'm trying to teach you, you'll look back on this day as the day your life changed. The day you stopped being a selfish child and started becoming a man. The bailiff approaches Trevor with handcuffs. Trevor backs up a step. Instinct. Fear. Please, he whispers. Not the handcuffs. Not in front of everyone. Judge Caprio's expression doesn't change. Everyone who comes out of custody wears handcuffs. You're not special. Turn around. Trevor looks at his lawyer one last time. The lawyer looks down at his papers. No help there. Slowly, Trevor turns around. His shoulders shake. He's sobbing quietly now. The bailiff pulls Trevor's arms behind his back. The handcuffs click into place. The sound echoes in the silent courtroom. It's a sound Trevor has never heard before. A sound he'll never forget. Trevor Blackwell, the bailiff, says formally, you are now in the custody of the Rhode Island Department of Corrections. You will be transported to the intake facility. Do you understand? Trevor can barely speak. Yes. People in the gallery watch. Some look satisfied. Some look sad. One older man, himself wearing a veteran's cap, nods slowly. Justice. But Judge Caprio isn't done. Mr. Miller, please approach the bench. Raymond limps forward. He looks confused. Worried. Like he's in trouble too. Mr. Miller, you came here today expecting to face punishment for those parking tickets. 17 tickets over 8 months. Total fines of $850. Is that correct? Raymond nods. Yes, Your Honor. I know I was wrong. I should have found another place to park. I should have figured it out better. I can pay some of it. Maybe $50 a month. It'll take a while, but I'll pay. Judge Caprio shakes his head. Mr. Miller, those tickets are dismissed. All of them. You don't owe this court anything. Raymond's mouth opens. Your Honor. You were living in your car because you had nowhere else to go. You weren't parked there to avoid paying. You were parked there because you were homeless. That's not a crime. That's a tragedy. And this court doesn't punish tragedy. Raymond's eyes fill with tears. Again. But these are different tears. Furthermore, Judge Caprio continues, I've been on the phone this morning. I spoke with the director of the Providence Housing Authority. I explained your situation. He's agreed to move you to the top of the emergency housing list. You'll have an apartment within 2 weeks. It's not big. It's a studio. But it has a bed, a bathroom, a kitchen, heat. It's yours. Raymond staggers. He actually staggers. Your Honor, I can't. Yes, you can. And you will. The rent is based on your income. 30% of your disability check. That's about $375 per month. The rest is covered by housing assistance. You'll have utilities included. You'll be safe. You'll be warm. You'll be home. Raymond breaks down. Completely. He covers his face with his hands. His whole body shakes with sobs. Decades of pain and struggle and fear pour out of him. Judge Caprio comes down from the bench again. He walks to Raymond. He puts his hand on the old man's shoulder. Mr. Miller, this country owes you a debt it can never fully repay. You gave your youth, your health, your peace of mind. The least we can do is give you a roof over your head. Thank you for your service. Welcome home. The courtroom erupts in applause. People are standing, clapping. Some are crying too. Trevor stands in handcuffs, watching. He sees Raymond collapse into a chair, overwhelmed. He sees the judge patting his shoulder. He sees people approaching to shake Raymond's hand, to thank him, to welcome him. And for the first time, Trevor understands what he did. Not just the accident, not just the bribery, but the disrespect, the cruelty, the casual dismissal of a man who gave everything. I'm sorry, Trevor says. Nobody hears him over the applause. I'm so sorry. The bailiff leads him toward the side door, toward the holding cells, toward 7 days that will feel like forever. As Trevor is led away, he looks back one more time. He sees Raymond surrounded by people, smiling through tears, shaking hands, being seen, being valued, being honored. Trevor's last thought before the door closes, that should have been me congratulating him. 7 days pass slowly in jail. Trevor shares a cell with 3 other men. One is in for drug possession, one for theft, one for assault. They don't care about his crypto portfolio. They don't care about his Instagram followers. His $60,000 watch is in a property bag. His designer clothes are folded in a locker. He wears orange scrubs that smell like industrial detergent. The food is terrible. Breakfast is watery oatmeal. Lunch is mystery meat and overcooked vegetables. Dinner is pasta that sticks together in clumps. He eats it anyway. He's hungry. He can't sleep. The lights never go fully dark. Someone is always snoring, or talking, or yelling. The toilet has no privacy. It's just there in the corner. He has to use it while his cellmates watch TV 3 feet away. On day 3, he calls his father. The call is expensive. 15 minutes costs $20. His father is angry. "How could you be so stupid?" his father says. "Do you know how embarrassing this is? I've had to explain to my partners why my son is in jail." Trevor tries to explain. "Dad, I messed up. I know. But the judge was unfair. He sent me to jail just for what? Just for driving drunk? Just for hitting someone and running away? Just for trying to bribe a cop? Which part was unfair, Trevor?" Trevor has no answer. "You're 26 years old. You should know better. I gave you every advantage, every opportunity, and this is what you do with it." The call ends early. His father hangs up. On day 5, Trevor gets a visitor. It's his lawyer. "We could appeal the contempt charge," the lawyer says. "Argue that 7 days was excessive." Trevor shakes his head. "No, don't appeal. I deserve this." The lawyer looks surprised. "Are you sure?" "Yeah, I'm sure." On day 7, Trevor is released. He walks out into sunlight. It's Saturday morning, 5:30 a.m. His first day of community service starts in 30 minutes. He takes a bus to the VA hospital. The ride costs $2. He only has a $20 bill. The driver sighs and gives him change. 18 singles. Trevor folds them carefully. $18 feels important now. He arrives at 5:55 a.m. He's early. The hospital is quiet. A few nurses walk through hallways. Carts roll on squeaky wheels. He finds the volunteer office. A woman sits behind a desk. She's about 50. Her left arm ends at the elbow. A prosthetic arm rests on the desk, beside a coffee cup. "Trevor Blackwell," she asks. "Yes, ma'am." "I'm Margaret Sanchez. You're here for court-ordered community service." "Yes, ma'am." She hands him a vest. It's yellow. On the back in big black letters, "Community Service." "Put it on. You'll wear it every time you're here. You'll clean patient rooms on the 3rd floor. You'll empty trash. You'll mop. You'll deliver meal trays. You'll do whatever nurses or staff ask you to do. You'll be respectful. You'll be on time. You'll work hard. Any questions?" "No, ma'am." She stands, walks to the door, stops, looks back at him. "I read about your case," she says. "What you said to that veteran in court. I served with men like Raymond Miller. Good men. Men who deserved better than what they got. You owe him more than community service. You owe him a changed life. Don't waste this opportunity." "I won't, ma'am." She nods. "Follow me." The first day is brutal. Trevor mops 6 rooms. He empties 40 trash cans. He carries meal trays up 3 flights of stairs because the elevator is broken. His back aches. His hands blister. He's exhausted by 8 a.m. At 9:30, he delivers breakfast to room 317. An old man sits in bed. He's maybe 80. Thin. Pale. Tubes run from his arm to an 4 bag. "Good morning, sir," Trevor says. He sets the tray on the table. Oatmeal. Orange juice. A small cup of pills. The man looks at him. At his vest. "Community service, huh? What did you do?" Trevor hesitates. "DUI. Hit and run." The man nods. "Could have been worse. Could have killed someone." "Yes, sir." "You learn anything yet?" Trevor thinks. "I'm learning." The man smiles slightly. "That's a start. What's your name?" "Trevor." "I'm Bill. Bill Patterson. I was in Korea. 1951. You ever heard of the Battle of Chosin Reservoir?" Trevor shakes his head. "No, sir." "Look it up. We fought in 20 below zero weather. Lost a lot of good men. Came home to nothing. No parades. No thank yous. Just got on with life. Worked construction for 40 years. Now I'm here. Lung cancer. Too many cigarettes." He coughs. A deep, rattling cough. Trevor doesn't know what to say. "I'm sorry, sir." "Don't be sorry. Just be better. Whatever landed you in that vest, make sure it meant something. Make sure you actually change." "I'm trying, sir." Bill picks up his spoon. "Trying's a start. Doing's what matters." Trevor nods. "Yes, sir." He leaves the room thinking about Bill, about Korea, about fighting in 20 below zero, about coming home to nothing. He thinks about Raymond Miller, about Vietnam, about living in a car. He thinks about his apartment, his Tesla, his watch, things he's never had to fight for, things that were just there. Week 2. Trevor arrives at 5:50 a.m. He's learning to take the early bus. He brings his own coffee now. Saves money. He mops the same floors. Empties the same trash. But he's starting to notice things. Names on doors. Faces in beds. Stories in rooms. Room 309. James Rodriguez. Vietnam. 2 Purple Hearts. Wheelchair-bound. Always polite. Always says thank you. ING in his journal. At first the entries are short. Cleaned 6 rooms today. My back hurts. This sucks. But by week 3, they're longer. More detailed. I met a man named Robert today. He's 73. He was in Vietnam the same years as Mr. Miller. He told me about a village they tried to protect. The enemy came at night. Half his unit died. He still has nightmares. He said he hasn't slept through a full night in 50 years. 50 years. I can't imagine that. I get annoyed if I don't get 8 hours. What right do I have to complain about anything? Week 5. Trevor delivers lunch to room 317. Bill's room. But Bill isn't there. The bed is empty. Stripped. Trevor finds Margaret in the hallway. Where's Bill? Mr. Patterson in 317. Her face says everything. He passed away Wednesday night. Peacefully. His daughter was with him. Trevor feels something break inside him. He barely knew Bill. They talked maybe 5 times. But it matters. It hurts. He was a good man, Margaret says. He served his country. He worked hard. He raised 3 kids on a construction worker's salary. He did everything right. And he died in a VA hospital with cancer. That's not fair, Trevor says. No, it's not. But it's reality for a lot of veterans. They give everything. They get back very little. Trevor goes back to mopping, but he's crying while he does it. Tears mix with mop water on linoleum floors. That night, he writes 4 pages in his journal. About Bill. About Korea. About learning that life isn't fair. That good people suffer. That money can't protect you from everything. Week 8. Trevor is halfway through his hours. He's lost 10 pounds. His hands are calloused. He doesn't check his phone anymore. Doesn't care about Instagram likes or crypto prices. He starts talking to veterans. Really talking. Asking questions. Listening. He learns that 20 veterans commit suicide every day. That many die waiting for VA benefits to be approved. That homelessness among veterans is epidemic. He learns that Raymond Miller's story isn't unique. It's common. Tragically common. He starts researching. Reading. Understanding. Week 12. Trevor sits in the volunteer office during his break. Margaret is doing paperwork. Can I ask you something? Trevor says. Sure. Why do you work here? You're a veteran. You gave your arm. You could be anywhere. Why come back to this? Margaret sets down her pen. Because these are my people. We serve together. We sacrifice together. I can't leave them behind. If I can make one Veterans Day a little easier, it's worth it. Trevor nods slowly. Mr. Miller, the man I hit, he's like them. He is one of them. I was so horrible to him. I said things. I can't believe I said those things. Then make it right. How? You've got a platform. Thousands of followers. Use it for something good. Tell people about veterans. About their struggles. About what they need. Turn your mess into a message. Trevor thinks about that for a long time. Week 16. For weeks left. Trevor has changed. Visibly. He's thinner. Harder. His clothes are simpler now. Jeans. T-shirts. No more design or anything. He's been working on his letter to Raymond. He's written 7 drafts. Each one gets more honest. He writes about his privilege. About his ignorance. About his cruelty. About what he's learned. He writes about Bill Patterson. About Sarah Chun and David Okonkwo and James Rodriguez. About meeting real heroes and realizing he's not one. He writes about wanting to change. About hoping Raymond can someday forgive him. About promising to do better. Week 18. Trevor films his public service announcement. The court provided a camera crew. A simple setup. Just Trevor. A chair. The truth. He doesn't use notes. He speaks from his heart. My name is Trevor Blackwell. 6 months ago, I made the worst decision of my life. I drove drunk. I hit a homeless veteran's car. I ran away. I tried to bribe a cop. And when I got to court, I said terrible things to a man who served our country. I was arrogant. I was cruel. I thought money made me special. I was wrong about everything. He pauses, breathes, continues. I spent 7 days in jail. I've spent 20 weeks working at a VA hospital. I've met veterans who gave everything. Their youth, their health, their peace of mind. They came home to a country that forgot about them, that ignored them, that let them suffer. And people like me made it worse. We looked down on them. We blamed them for being poor, for being broken, for needing help. We were wrong. His voice cracks, but he keeps going. If you're watching this, learn from my mistake. Don't drive drunk. Ever. You could kill someone. You could destroy a life. And even if you don't, you could destroy your own. But more than that, treat people with respect. Everyone. Rich or poor. Young or old. Homeless or homeowner. Everyone deserves dignity. Everyone has a story. Everyone matters. I forgot that. I hope you never do. The crew says it's good. They'll send it to the court for approval. Week 20. The last day. Trevor finishes his final shift at 11 a.m. He's completed 200 hours exactly. He's written 20 journal entries. He's delivered thousands of meals. He's mopped miles of floors. He's listened to hundreds of stories. Margaret signs his completion form. You did good, Trevor. Really good. I wasn't sure about you at first. Thought you'd be another rich kid going through the motions. But you showed up. You worked. You learned. I'm proud of you. Those words mean more than any Instagram like ever did. Thank you, ma'am. For everything. What will you do now, she asks. I have a review hearing tomorrow. I have to face Mr. Miller. Apologize in person. After that, I don't know. But I'm going to keep volunteering. Keep learning. Keep trying to make up for what I did. Margaret smiles. Good man. The next morning, 90 days after sentencing. The review hearing. Providence Municipal Court. Same courtroom. Same judge. But Trevor is different. He wears simple clothes. A button-up shirt. Khakis. No designer labels. No jewelry. No expensive watch. He carries a folder. Inside is his completion certificate. His journal entries. And the letter. Judge Caprio enters. Everyone stands. Please be seated. Case 2026, MV 14729. Review hearing for Trevor Blackwell. Mr. Blackwell, please approach. Trevor walks forward. His steps are steady. Confident but not arrogant. Mr. Blackwell, you've completed your 7 days of custody. You've completed your 200 hours of community service. Margaret Sanchez submitted a glowing report. She says you were one of the hardest working volunteers they've ever had. She says you made a real difference. Is that accurate? I tried, Your Honor. I did my best. I've read your journal entries. All 20 of them. Some made me smile. Some made me cry. They show genuine growth. Genuine understanding. Tell me what you learned. Trevor takes a breath. He's been preparing for this. Your Honor, I learned that I was living in a bubble. I thought money meant success. I thought wealth meant worth. I was wrong. I met veterans who have more courage in their little finger than I'll have in my entire life. I met men and women who sacrificed everything and got back almost nothing. I realized that my advantages weren't because I was special. They were because I was lucky. And luck isn't something to be proud of. It's something to be grateful for. And something to share. Judge Caprio nods slowly. What will you do with that knowledge? I'm starting a foundation. Using some of my money to help homeless veterans. I'm partnering with the Providence Housing Authority. We're going to fund emergency housing placements. We're going to hire case workers. We're going to help people like Mr. Miller get off the streets and into homes. It's called the Bill Patterson Foundation, named after a veteran I met at the hospital. He taught me what really matters before he died. The courtroom is silent. Judge Caprio's eyes glisten slightly. That's commendable, Mr. Blackwell. Truly. I also watched your public service announcement. It's been approved. It will be shown in schools starting next month. You were honest. Vulnerable. That takes courage. Thank you, Your Honor. Now, the most important part. Mr. Miller is here. Are you prepared to face him? Trevor's voice shakes slightly. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Miller, please come forward. Raymond walks to the front. He looks different too. cleaner, healthier. He's wearing new clothes. Simple but new. His limp is still there, but he stands straighter, more confident. Judge Caprio speaks. Mr. Miller, Trevor has something he'd like to give you. Trevor steps toward Raymond. They're face to face, 3 feet apart. So much has changed since they stood here 90 days ago. Trevor holds out an envelope. His hand shakes. Mr. Miller, I wrote you a letter. I'd like to read it to you if that's okay. Raymond nods. Okay. Trevor opens the envelope, unfolds 2 handwritten pages. His eyes are already wet. Dear Mr. Miller, I don't know if sorry is a big enough word for what I need to say. I destroyed your home. I disrespected your service. I treated you like you were worthless. I was cruel beyond measure. And I did it because I thought money made me better than you. I was wrong. You are 10 times the man I'll ever be. His voice breaks. He pauses, breathes, continues. In Vietnam, you saved lives. You fought for our freedom. You came home to a country that didn't appreciate you. You worked hard for decades. You did everything right. And when life knocked you down, you didn't ask for special treatment. You just kept going. That's real strength. That's real courage. I've never done anything remotely that difficult or that important. Raymond's eyes fill with tears. I spent 20 weeks working at a VA hospital. I met veterans like you. Heroes. Real heroes. Not celebrities or influencers or crypto brothers, real people who gave everything. I learned what sacrifice means, what service means, what honor means, and I realized I had none of those things. I had money. That's all. And money without character is worthless. Trevor wipes his face. Tears stream down his cheeks. I can't undo what I did. I can't give you back those months of sleeping under a highway. I can't take back the words I said. But I can promise you this. I will spend the rest of my life trying to be better, trying to help veterans, trying to use my advantages to lift others up instead of putting them down. I will never forget you. I will never forget what you taught me, even though you didn't mean to teach me, even though I didn't deserve the lesson. He folds the letter, looks directly at Raymond. Mr. Miller, I am so deeply sorry. I know sorry isn't enough, but it's all I have right now. I hope someday I can show you through my actions that I really changed, that this wasn't just an act, that I really learned. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. And thank you for being the man I should aspire to be. The courtroom is silent except for quiet crying. Half the gallery is wiping their eyes. Raymond stands there. He's shaking. Tears run down his weathered face. He looks at Trevor for a long moment. Then he extends his hand. Trevor takes it. They shake. Raymond pulls him into a hug. Trevor breaks down completely, sobbing. Years of arrogance and cruelty and wasted privilege pouring out. You're a good kid, Raymond says quietly. You made mistakes, but you learned. That's what matters. You learned. They separate. Both men are crying. Judge Caprio is wiping his eyes. The bailiff turns away, trying to maintain composure. Judge Caprio clears his throat. Mr. Blackwell, you have fulfilled all terms of your sentence. Your community service is complete. Your letters are written. Your PSA is approved. You've paid your fines and restitution. As of today, your probation is ended. You're free. Trevor nods. Thank you, Your Honor. But let me be clear. You're not free of responsibility. You're free of court supervision. But you carry a responsibility now to continue the work you started, to help others, to be the man you promised to become in that letter. Don't let this be a phase. Don't let this be something you did to satisfy a court order. Let this be the beginning of a life that matters. I will, Your Honor. I promise. Judge Caprio stands, comes down from the bench one final time. He extends his hand to Trevor. They shake. I'm proud of you, son, Judge Caprio says quietly. You came in here as a boy. You're leaving as a man. Don't waste it. I won't, Your Honor. Judge Caprio turns to Raymond. Mr. Miller, how are you doing? How's the new apartment? Raymond's face lights up. It's wonderful, Your Honor. I got a bed. A real bed. Heat. A shower. I can cook my own meals. It feels like a dream. It's not a dream. It's what you always deserved. Anything else you need? No, sir. You've done more than enough. More than I ever expected. Thank you. Thank you so much. They shake hands, then hug. An old veteran and an old judge. 2 men who understand what service means. The hearing ends. People file out, but many approach Raymond first, shaking his hand, thanking him, welcoming him home. Finally, Trevor waits, watches, learns one final lesson. This is what respect looks like, what honor looks like, what community looks like. 6 months later, the Bill Patterson Foundation has housed 15 homeless veterans. They're working on 20 more placements. Trevor works there 3 days a week. He still volunteers at the VA hospital on Saturdays. His social media has changed. No more photos of expensive cars or bottle service. Now it's stories about veterans, fundraisers, awareness campaigns. He's lost 150,000 followers. He doesn't care. The 250,000 who stayed are the right ones. His father called last month. They had a long talk. A real talk. His father admitted he'd failed Trevor. Given him money, but not wisdom. They're working on their relationship. Slowly, Trevor sold his Tesla, bought a used Honda, donated the difference to the foundation. He still has money. He's not pretending to be poor, but he's using it differently now. Investing in people instead of things. Raymond Miller lives in his apartment. He volunteers at a community center twice a week, teaching kids about Vietnam, about service, about resilience. He and Trevor have coffee every Sunday morning. An unlikely friendship, but a real one. Judge Caprio still presides over Providence Municipal Court. He sees hundreds of cases. Most are routine. But every few weeks, someone walks in who needs more than punishment. They need understanding, compassion, a chance to change. He gives it to them, because that's what justice really means. The video of Trevor's case went viral. 8 million views on YouTube. Shared across every platform. Comments in the thousands. Most people support Judge Caprio. They call him a hero. They say every judge should be like him. They share their own stories about veterans they know, about family members who served, about the failures of the system. Some people defend Trevor. They say he was young, that everyone makes mistakes, that the punishment was too harsh, that 7 days in jail was excessive. But the overwhelming majority agrees. Justice was served. Not just legal justice, moral justice. Trevor needed that wake-up call, and he got it. The case becomes a teaching tool. Law schools discuss it. Psychology professors analyze it. Social workers reference it. It's an example of restorative justice, of punishment with purpose, of consequences with compassion. In Providence, 3 more judges adopt similar approaches. They start really listening to defendants, understanding their backgrounds, crafting sentences that teach instead of just punish. The Providence Housing Authority receives $2 million in donations after the case goes viral. They expand their emergency housing program. 40 more veterans get homes that year. The Bill Patterson Foundation partners with 6 other states. They replicate the Rhode Island model. By the end of a year, 200 homeless veterans have housing. It's a start. Traffic violations in Providence drop 18%. DUIs drop 23%. Trevor's PSA plays in high schools. Students watch a young man admit his failures, own his mistakes, change his life. It resonates. A national veterans organization gives Judge Caprio an award. He accepts it in a ceremony at the Rhode Island State House. Raymond Miller presents it to him. They embrace on stage. There isn't a dry eye in the room. Trevor is invited to speak at the ceremony. He tells Bill Patterson's story. He tells Raymond's story. He tells his own story. He ends with a challenge. Everyone in this room has privilege of some kind. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's education. Maybe it's health or family or opportunity. Whatever it is, don't waste it. Don't use it to put others down. Use it to lift others up. Because at the end of your life, nobody's going to remember how much money you made. They'll remember what you did with it. They'll remember who you helped. They'll remember if you made the world better or worse. Choose better. Please. Choose better. The standing ovation lasts 3 minutes. 1 year later, Trevor sits in Judge Caprio's chambers. Not as a defendant, as a guest. They're having coffee. How are you doing? Judge Caprio asks. Good. Really good. The foundation is growing. We just got a grant from a VA. We're expanding into Massachusetts. We're talking with Connecticut, too. That's wonderful. And personally, Trevor smiles. I'm engaged. Her name is Lisa. She's a social worker. She works with homeless families. We met at a fundraiser. She knew my story before we met. She said she almost didn't talk to me. Thought I'd be a jerk. But she gave me a chance. We've been together 9 months. I'm happy for you, Trevor. I owe you everything, Your Honor. If you hadn't been tough on me, I'd still be that arrogant kid. I'd still be wasting my life on nonsense. You changed my life. Judge Caprio shakes his head. I didn't change your life. I just showed you what was possible. You did the changing. You did the work. You earned this new life. Can I ask you something? Of course. Why didn't you give up on me? I was so terrible in that courtroom. You could have just thrown the book at me. Sent me to prison for years. Why give me a chance? Judge Caprio leans back. Thinks. Because I've seen thousands of people in my courtroom. Most of them aren't bad people. They're good people who made bad choices. Or good people in bad situations. My job isn't to punish them into the ground. It's to help them find their way back. I saw something in you. Under all that arrogance and entitlement. I saw fear. Confusion. A kid who had money but no direction. I thought maybe you could change. I'm glad I was right. Trevor's eyes water. Me too. They finish their coffee. Talk about the foundation. About Raymond. About the future. As Trevor leaves, Judge Caprio says one more thing. Trevor, remember this feeling. This gratitude. This purpose. When things get hard, when you're tired, when you wonder if it's worth it, remember how far you've come. Remember Bill Patterson. Remember Raymond. Remember that you're living a second chance. Not everyone gets one. Don't waste it. I won't, Your Honor. I promise. Judge Caprio sits alone in his chambers after Trevor leaves. He opens his desk drawer. Inside is a file. Trevor's file. He opens it. Reads his own notes from a year ago. Young man. Wealthy. Arrogant. Hurt a veteran. Showed no remorse. Contempt of court. But something in his eyes. Fear? Confusion? Lost? Possibility. Below that, in different ink, a newer note. He changed. He really changed. This is why we do this job. Judge Caprio closes the file. Puts it back in the drawer. In a few minutes, his next case will begin. Another person needing justice. Another chance to make a difference. He stands. Puts on his robe. Walks to the courtroom. The work continues. Raymond Miller sits in his apartment. It's small, but it's his. He has a couch now. A TV. Photos on the wall. One photo shows him in uniform. Young. Strong. Before the war changed everything. Another photo is recent. Him and Trevor at a foundation event. Both smiling. Both changed. He gets a text. It's Trevor. Coffee Sunday. Raymond texts back. Yes. Same place. He sets down his phone. Looks around his apartment. His home. A year ago, he was sleeping under a highway. Cold. Hungry. Forgotten. Now he has a home. A friend. A purpose. He volunteers with kids. He tells his story. He helps others. Life has meaning again. He thinks about Judge Caprio. About that day in court. About justice. He thinks about Trevor. About second chances. About redemption. He thinks about Bill Patterson. About all the veterans who never got their second chance. Who died waiting for housing. For benefits. For someone to care. He makes a promise to their memory. He'll keep telling their stories. He'll keep fighting for others. He'll make sure they're not forgotten. Outside, the sun is setting. The city glows orange and gold. Raymond watches from his window. His window. In his apartment. In his home. He's not homeless anymore. He's not invisible anymore. He's not forgotten anymore. He's home. Finally home. Money can buy many things. But it cannot buy back time. It cannot undo harm. It cannot purchase respect. It cannot create character. And in Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom, it definitely cannot buy justice. Justice isn't about punishment. It's about balance. It's about teaching. It's about protecting those who need protection and correcting those who need correction. Trevor Blackwell learned that lesson the hard way. But he learned it. He changed. He grew. He became someone worth respecting. Raymond Miller received what he always deserved. Dignity. Housing. Recognition. A chance to live his final years in peace and comfort. And Judge Frank Caprio did what judges should do. He saw beyond the surface. He understood context. He crafted sentences that changed lives instead of just filling prisons. This is what justice can be. What it should be. What it must be. Equal for everyone. Compassionate but firm. Punishing but purposeful. Strict but fair. The law applies to everyone. Rich and poor. Young and old. Famous and unknown. We're all equal in the eyes of justice. And that's exactly as it should be.